Well, Tom Brady stepped away from the Bucs for, it looks like, a couple of weeks. Our guess is it's a personal matter. His mom has been ill. So with that, though, Ben Volin covers the NFL for the Boston Globe. Patriots, Buccaneers, Brady, all things. He is tied in. Ben Volin now joining us live. Covered the NFL for 15 years. You wrote an article for the Boston Globe today. It says Tom Brady looks as great as ever, but is he truly committed to the Bucs? And you talked about he's been a little surlier, and we now have stories in 2019. It is interesting. Let's ask you the question: do you think he's committed to the Bucs?
I do wonder where his head is at right now. It's funny, the article you mentioned I wrote today. The older Brady gets, the less we criticize and wonder if he could actually play. I mean, he was so good last year at 44. There's no doubt in our minds that if Brady is fully committed, that he can have a terrific season at age 45. But there are definitely signs that maybe his head isn't fully into it. And I try not to be the body language police, but I was out at Bucs practice yesterday, and he looked miserable. I don't think he loves the humidity here in Tampa. It is very swampy out here every morning. His buddy Gronk has retired. That's his running mate. That's his guy. Now he looks all over the field. He's throwing to Kyle Rudolph, and Chris Godwin's banged up. We're not sure when he's going to be himself again. Brady's center goes down. There's just a lot of things going on with the team, and we also know that playing for the Bucs was not his number one wish this year. If he had gotten his way,
that's right,
he'd be running the Dolphins. And the only reason he went back to the Bucs was because he really had no other options. And he said, well, I guess I'll go back to Tampa Bay. So, he had an excused absence last week too around his birthday. And the local reporters here, they were holding their breath. They thought this was it, that Tom Brady had a change of heart, that he was going to retire. Now Todd Bowles announces today that Brady wasn't at practice. He's going to be gone through next week, through the second preseason game. So he's going to be gone another 10 days. So I definitely question where his head's at. And then, as you mentioned, it might be related to a health thing with either his parents or a family member. Yeah. If that's the case, certainly it's going to be a distraction also. So it does seem like Brady is not 100% focused on football. Right
now. No, he's very close with his family, super close. So that's my gut feeling on that. But I think what you and I are talking about is, and here's where I've defended Brady, Ben, is that at the end of Michael Jordan's career, when he was with Chicago, he was talking to Abe Pollin. He wanted to own a team. And Derek Jeter at the end got into ownership of a team. Peyton Manning talked to the Titans at the end. He wanted to, talk about running or owning a team. LeBron has been mentioned as Vegas expanding in the NBA. LeBron would own part of the team. I do think Brady, and this is why I've not picked Tampa to be great this year. I've said he wanted to retire. He wanted to move into business. And then because of the Brian Flores lawsuit, he pivots back and goes. And I think this is where I've defended Tom. He's got $500 million or $1 billion net worth with his wife, and the Jeters and the Michaels and the LeBrons. I think this is a very natural move to, okay, I got the legacy, I got the bag. I want to get into the ownership group. So maybe I'm naive on that, but I'm kind of giving Tom a pass on the Dolphin rumors. Should I?
No, I think you're right. I don't think Brady really did anything wrong with his dalliance, his flirtation with the Dolphins this time around. I think you're 100% right. I think his ultimate goal, he's got all these side businesses now, the Brady brand, the TB12. He's got an NFT company. I think he wants to own an NFL team, and maybe not, own it by himself. I don't know if he can compete with the Walton families of the world that are now buying these NFL teams, but I certainly think he wants to front an ownership group, be the face of an ownership group. And Stephen Ross of the Miami Dolphins and Bruce Beal, his partner, offered Brady a golden opportunity to get into the business of the NFL. We'll sell you a small chunk of our team. We'll make you the team president. I was actually told that the way they sold it was, you'll be our Derek Jeter. Jeter was running the Miami Marlins, and they wanted Brady to come run the Dolphins. So I certainly don't begrudge Brady for looking at that opportunity and to trying to get into the business of the NFL. I don't think he did anything wrong there. The only thing I think is unseemly is how, really going back to the 2019 season, he's signing a new contract with the Patriots. He's saying, I'm all in and I'm focused. And literally at the same time, he's flirting with the Dolphins again. And all throughout that 2019 season, which did not go well for the Patriots, Brady is worried more about his future destination than playing quarterback. But his flirtation with the Dolphins this time and the front office thing, there's nothing wrong with it. And I absolutely think that is Brady's goal post-career, is to be in the business of the NFL and to try to front an ownership group.
Well, Ben, you've covered the Patriots. I said there are teams, if you look at what matters in offense, do you draft it, do you develop it, do you coach it, or can you buy it? There are teams like the Rams in Kansas City with offensive coaches. They just coach it, they buy it, they draft it, they develop it year after year. McDaniel's gone. Dante Scarnecchia is gone. Brady's gone. They're not drafting it great, and they're not buying it great. They spent a fortune last year for a bunch of receivers that can't separate. Devontae Parker was last in the league last year in separation. I look at this Matt Patricia move, Ben, I just question whether they have a feel for offense with these iconic Dante, Josh, Tom leaving. I don't think they do. Your thoughts?
I agree with you, Colin. I don't think they've done a great job of preparing for the future. That was one of the hallmarks of the Patriots program for 15, almost 20 years, is they always had the next man up and the next guy ready. And the last few years, that's kind of fallen off the wayside. McDaniels takes some coaches with him. Dante Scarnecchia retires. They don't really have good solutions. And so Belichick is really, he's just taking it upon himself. Him and Matt Patricia, like their whole theory is I alone can fix it. They're running the offensive line. They're coaching the receivers. They're calling the plays. Matt Patricia is running the salary cap. Each of these guys is wearing about 27 different hats right now. So if it was anyone but Belichick, I think you said it before, if it was anyone but Belichick who came up with this setup with Belichick and his former defensive coordinator now running the offense, any coach, anyone other than Belichick would get crushed for this. I'm allowing, a little wait and see approach. Like Belichick is certainly a football genius. He has a ton of respect for Matt Patricia, so that has to count for something. And I am coming around to the idea of, I like that Matt Patricia and Belichick are defensive guys who are going to be in Mac Jones' headset. Tom Brady always spoke about how crucial it was for his development to have that defensive perspective. So I am coming around to it, but boy, to not have an experienced play caller or many experienced offensive coaches around this team, they haven't drafted well. They're just asking for a lot of things to go right this year. And frankly, it might be too much of an ask. And I think the Patriots, certainly in offense, they're kind of asking for trouble this year.
Ben Volin, Boston Globe, covered the league for a long time. Great seeing you. And stop playing golf in Tampa in the afternoon. Good Lord. Good luck to you, Ben.
All right. Thanks a lot, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.